It was late. Far too late for a child to be out under the orange haze of flickering streetlights, yawning, clutching his toy dinosaur like a shield. I was leaning into the car, buckling my son into his booster seat, when I heard footsteps behind me. Fast, uneven, urgent. Mrs. Carson from 3 houses down stood there, pale and breathless. Her voice was barely above a whisper as she leaned in and said, "There's someone in your house." I froze. Her eyes flicked to my porch. I turned just enough to see movement behind the blinds. A man. Not me. Not anyone who belonged. And strangely, my heart didn't race. No panic. No chaos. Just a shift, a quiet click inside. Like something finally locking into place. I told Mrs. Carson to take my son into her home, to lock the doors and stay inside. Then I called the police, calmly, methodically, as if I had rehearsed this moment 1,000 times in my head. When they arrived, one of the officers stepped onto my porch, leaned in to look through the window, and recoiled like he'd been slapped. "I can't believe this," he muttered. He waved the others over. I didn't need to look. I already knew what he was seeing. She told me she needed time to herself. She needed quiet. She needed space to work from home. And I, like a fool built from loyalty, trusted her. But betrayal never arrives with fireworks. It seeps in slowly, through missed details, subtle shifts, the kind you notice but tell yourself not to overthink. A locked bedroom door during video calls. Dishes left in the sink despite her being home all day. The faint trail of perfume when she'd only stepped out to walk the dog. I noticed. Of course I did. But love is a voluntary blindness. You wear it like armor until the weight becomes unbearable. The signs began stacking up. New towels. Not our usual kind, not even close. Then came the wine. A bottle unopened in the evening, emptied by morning. And she never drank alone. I tried brushing it off. Until the day I checked her phone while she was in the shower. Face ID didn't work. She had changed it. Smart, but not smart enough. One day, she left her laptop open. Just once. Slack still running in the background. His name was Jason. A co-worker, or so she'd said. The messages weren't crude. They were worse. Quietly intimate. Future planning. Whisper-soft betrayals. The bed still smells like you. I printed the messages. Screenshot after screenshot. Saved them all to a thumb drive. I even found receipts. Hotels billed under her name on days. She told me she had appointments. I didn't confront her. Not yet. That night, I cooked dinner. Poured her favorite wine. She smiled at me across the table and said, "Thank you for being so good to me." And I smiled back, because by then I already had everything I needed. The officer motioned me forward, asked if I wanted him to go in first. I shook my head. "No. Let me." I walked to the door with the same steady calm I used when I tucked my son in each night. It creaked open. She looked up, startled, frozen in disbelief. He scrambled, dragging the blanket over himself like that would shield him from the truth. She whispered my name like it still had meaning. I didn't say anything at first, just held up the folder. Inside were the screenshots, the printouts, the thumb drive, the receipts, everything. She didn't reach for it. Jason stood up. "Look, man." I cut him off with a look. Not anger, not even disgust. Just pity. Then I turned back to her. "You change your passwords, but not your patterns." Her lip trembled. "Please." I didn't let her finish. "I already told the HOA. They'll be contacting you about the lease transfer." Her eyes widened. "You're kicking me out?" I paused. "No, I already moved out. Weeks ago." I turned away, dropped the folder on the floor like it weighed nothing. "You don't live here anymore," I said softly. "Neither of you do." Mrs. Carson stood at her door with my son, his little dinosaur still tucked under his arm. He looked up at me and asked, "What happened?" "Nothing," I replied. "Just had to say goodbye to something broken." He nodded, too young to understand, but old enough to trust me. We got in the car, drove away, past the house, past the years, past the lie. And I didn't cry, didn't scream, didn't break. I just drove, forward, toward something cleaner, quieter. She thought secrets made her powerful, thought silence made her safe. But secrets rot from the inside, and silence? That's where I do my best thinking. She left her soul in that house. Me? I only left the keys.